Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Third and Wrong podcast, where our takes are almost certainly wrong. We're excited to be back here with you tonight, talking some NBA and some NFL some NFL draft hot takes. Excuse me. We're excited to be talking about it. So, Jacob, Slade, how y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm excited. So, first episode just went up. Excited to dive into episode 2, man. Let's get to it. So, you want me to kind of lead us off with what we're going to do with the NBA?
Yeah.
So, what we're going to kind of start with is all 8 series have kicked off. Each series has played at least one game. There's a couple of game twos that are going on right now. One just went final. But we're going to kind of go through all of the series and kind of talk about what's already happened and then talk about what we think will happen in kind of a short, kind of try to keep it around like 3 to 5 minutes per each series. And then we'll kick into some mock draft hot takes. Like, let Slade kind of explain that to you, what we're thinking with that.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this as well. Like Jacob said, following the NBA first round, kind of our predictions and the recap of the first round, the first games of the first round. I think we're going to jump into some hot takes. We did just post our mock draft, and following that, I think we're going to talk about some of the things that individually we think is going to be like high risers, big fallers, who we think is going to be the best, just some hot takes between all of us, try to get some buzz going, and let us know in the comments what you think about all of them.
Some more Kenyon Sadiq propaganda, all the good stuff.
And you know that's the number one, so.
And some anti-TJ Parker propaganda. Maybe he slips to the 5th. I don't know. Man can dream. All right, let's get this baby started. What do you say, huh? All right, so opening series of the NBA playoffs, the first game on Saturday was the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. This was a series that I think is interesting anyways, because a lot of people kind of thought that the Cavs were losing some games on purpose down the stretch in order to draw Toronto. So I feel like already that kind of makes for a little bit of an interesting storyline. You can see the stats here as JJ scrolls down. Barnes had a pretty good game, but I think the story of this game, if you go into the Cavaliers stats, is James Harden was fantastic. And I really think that that's the biggest difference between this Cavs team from this year to last year is when you go from Garland to Harden, a guy who has played in a million playoff games, and a guy that a couple of years ago I really thought didn't have a ton of good basketball left in him, and this year has kind of had a resurgence. Was averaging like 26 points a game in LA, comes over here, and Mitchell is honestly one of the best playoff performers of our generation. So he's unbelievable in the playoffs, even though he's never advanced past the second round. But big win for the Cavs. Now they're up 2-0. So good start to the series. They are the clear better team, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. They went up 2-0 tonight as well, which is big. Yeah, I just think, man, the big four of the Cavaliers is such a good squad in general. Like their starters are just so strong with Harden, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley. Wade is respectable. Wade is playing his role, but those are really the big four. And then when you have a performance like this from Max Strus off the bench, that just makes you a dangerous playoff team. If in addition to your main starters, you can have somebody come off the bench and shoot 8 for 10 from the floor, 4 for 6 from the 3. That really boosts your team. The Raptors, they're just gonna have to play some lockdown D if they want to have any chance against this Cavs team. But I really just don't see it happening.
Yeah, going through this, I kind of took my notes beforehand, kind of what I was going to say, and I put down pretty much one thing for every team. So for this game, for the Raptors, I've got that Scotty Barnes and I think RJ Barrett are going to have to take over for them to even have a chance at this. We all know what Brandon Ingram is. He's probably going to give you 18, 24, 25 maybe.
Got to be more aggressive, but he sucked tonight. So
yeah, he didn't play good that night. But, I mean, I just think Scotty and RJ have to take over. On the Cavaliers side, as y'all emphasized already, Harden and Mitchell, I mean, they're a great duo. If you got somebody like Harden that can just pass the ball and you just let Donovan Mitchell take over and take his shots, I mean, I think this team's really good. I do have them winning in 4. So.
Oh, wow.
Winning in 4.
Yeah, kind of picking back, especially off of what JJ said. I think that Cleveland is obviously the more talented team here, and I think that Cleveland set up well roster-wise because you kind of have your star power, but then you also have surrounded by a lot of shooters. If you get some guys like Merrill going or, Strus was going last game, Jordan Tyson can also knock down some shots as well. they're just a really good team. I genuinely think the Cavs can come out of the East. I do think Toronto at least picks up a game when they go back to Toronto. I don't think they're going to roll over, but I think the Cavs could beat the Celtics, and not to get them ahead of themselves, but I think they could come out of the East. Really good teams.
Yeah, I agree. They're one of my favorites in the East. I easily can see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe even the finals if Harden gets hot, which is something I would love to see. Harden has so much disrespect. Yeah, Harden has so much disrespect in terms of like being a good playoff guy. Yeah. Like he gets a lot of disrespect in that way, similar to Josh Allen. Like he gets similar disrespect to that, and so I would love to see Harden just go crazy.
One of my favorite players of all time. I love James Harden, so I always pull for him, man.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil what I've got written down, because I got at the very end I got like my overall like bold predictions towards the end of the season, or the end of the playoffs here. But I do as well see that the Cavs could probably come out of that East as well. There are a lot of solid teams, but I do think the Cavs are the most well-rounded, and that just sets you up prime, in a prime position to go all the way to the finals.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So we got Nuggets. We got Timberwolves here. We have the Nuggets. They're obviously a team with championship pedigree. I do think they're the better team in this series, but you have a team in Minnesota that knocked them out 2 years ago, a team that has went to the Western Conference Finals for 2 straight years. They also have a guy in Anthony Edwards, who has also kind of cemented himself already, I would say, is one of the better playoff performers in the league. Another guy I kind of want to talk about in this series, there's a couple things that stand out to me. One of the things that stands out to me the most is, do we kind of have to start giving Rudy Gobert some respect as like a good playoff performer? Like, it's ridiculous as that sounds like.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
27 and like 24 or something, whatever he did in that closeout game against LA last year. Comes out with 17 and 10 to start off the game. Like, maybe he's doing this a ton in the regular season. I'm just missing it. Like, he's like an 8 or 9 point per game guy with elite defense, and just feels like he's just more aggressive. Maybe not even necessarily on the glass, but when he gets his rebounds, it looks like he's looking to go back up and score more. It just feels like he comes more aggressive. But as far as this series, yeah, Jokic was Jokic. Murray got 30, and he didn't even have a good shooting performance. So we obviously know the Nuggets can play. The Nuggets could easily go to the finals. They could easily win the whole thing. And I think the big X factor for the Nuggets, you know what you're going to get from Gordon, Jokic, Murray, and I would say even Brown, to be honest with you. I'd say there's a couple of things here. One, can Cameron Johnson do what he was traded to do for and hit shots, which he hasn't really done all season? He struggled. Can he get going? And 2, this is a guy that I don't even think a lot of people would mention. The guy who's been really good for them. That's Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm a big Mavs fan. I've witnessed it. In a 5 or 6 game series or a 7 game series, there can be one game that Tim Hardaway Jr. can win for you. And what I mean by that is he can just have a night where he hits 8 3 balls, like goes 8 for 10 3 and wins you a game. But it's going to be a really good series. I think the series goes 6 or 7. 2 of the better teams in the league. Maybe the series I'm most excited for.
JJ, you want to take over? Or you want me to?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see a series like this in the first round. Personally, like when I saw the Nuggets and the Timberwolves are going to be matched up against each other, this feels like a second round conference finals matchup.
Right.
And it's disappointing to have to see it in the first round, but it's exciting. It's fun. Yeah, Ant didn't play that great. Like, just shot terrible all night, which really, like, if you've been watching the Wolves, like, he's really like the majority of what keeps their offense going. And so when he's moving slow, like the Wolves in general are just moving slow. I also think like this game from Rudy, like, you wasted what is probably going to be one of Gobert's better offensive performances in a loss. Like, he stepped up offensively, 8 for 9 from the floor, getting the rebounds for you down low. He guarded Jokic pretty well. I know Jokic had 25, but that's not like a
down game. 25, 15, 11.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like,
jeez, he's unreal.
Man, I don't even feel like the Nuggets played that good in this game, and they still won by 11. So
they're good, man.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're really good.
Yeah, so my opinions on this game was the Timberwolves, pretty much everybody just played average. Nobody really showed out, and I think if you're playing against the Nuggets, somebody's got to go off. You got to have that X factor on your team. A guy that I'm excited to watch continue in this series is Ayo Dosunmu. I think coming off the bench, I think he's a great player. I don't know how well he would slide in starting, but I just think Dante DiVincenzo has to show out a little bit more. I know he isn't like the scorer that everybody nobody thinks of him as a scorer. But I mean, Anthony Edwards, like you said, JJ, he's got to score a little bit more. He's got to shoot a little bit more efficiently. Julius Randle might have to score like 4 or 5 more points. But yeah, this series is really good. The Nuggets, playoff Murray is here. He always is there. Playoff Murray is a great player. But Jokic is that guy. If you got
best player on the planet,
huh?
Best player on the planet.
Yeah, if you got him on the other side of the court, it's always gonna be a hard game. He's gonna find a way to win. He's just a great player. I just think this is a great series, but I do have the Nuggets winning in 5, maybe 6.
I got them in 6.
I just think with those 5 players you have starting, you're so well rounded. You're almost like the Cavs, if not maybe a little better than the Cavs.
Yeah, they're better than them.
I'm excited to see what the Nuggets do.
The only quick thing I would add for Minnesota is kind of piggyback off you, Slay, because I think you're completely right with this. Randall's got to play better. Randall's got to average over 20 points in this series, I think, for them to have a chance. I think Edwards has got to be around 30, which I think he will. And another big thing, Naz Reid's got to get you more than 5. This is a guy who is a lot of people expected to be a 6th man of the year candidate again this year, and he had a pretty good year. Only 17 minutes, 5 points. He's got to be more of a factor than that.
Not great.
So, moving on. I got Denver in 6 in this series, but I think it may be the series I'm most excited about. So,
yeah, I would love to see the Wolves come out. I'm a big Ant fan, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Nuggets are going to take that one.
But I think there's going to be a good series. It may go 7, like no joke. All right, so we have Hawks, we have Knicks here. We have the resurgence of the rivalry that we saw in 2021 when we saw Trae Young hush the crowd and MSG standing at their midcourt logo. Will the Knicks get their revenge this year? I think so, and for a few reasons. So we can start with the Knicks here. We can go ahead and click over to the Knicks. So first thing is again, I've talked about this in the first 2 series, but I'm going to say it again because it's absolutely true. Jalen Brunson is not only one of the premier players in the NBA, he's one of the premier playoff performers in the NBA, and there's no argument about that at all. And especially when Karl-Anthony Towns gets you 25 and was aggressive as he is, just a vintage Josh Hart game, 11, 14, and 5. Like, dude's just a winner. OG Anunoby was fantastic. Mikal Bridges is one of the better on-ball defenders in the entire NBA. I would say it was kind of a perfect way that you want to see a game play out for the Knicks, because the Hawks are a really good team, man. But when the Knicks are going, that's another team. I really do think the East is kind of wide open, way more wide open, way more so than the West, because the Knicks are really good, man. And if they play Boston in that second round, that's going to be a fantastic series. On the other side of it for the Hawks, kind of a surprising team this year. Really excited for them and their fan base. They played fantastic in the second half of the season. Jalen Johnson is a star. He's going to be a perennial all-star for the next 10-plus years. He's a stud. And C.J. McCollum, a guy at the back end of his career, is a professional scorer. It's all he's done his entire life. You liked it. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a guy who may win Most Improved Player, struggled a little bit. But this is a guy who's going to be fine, though. He's played in big-time games before. He's been on really good teams before in the past. He was on those Timberwolves teams the past couple of years. So he's going to play better, and he wasn't terrible. But I just think the Knicks are the better team. I think they win this one in 5 or 6. And yeah, another thing, shout out Jonathan Kuminga. Since he came over, the Hawks have been fantastic. And, he was playing really well tonight when I was watching that game. But the Knicks, so much talent on that team, man.
Yeah.
You want me to take it away, JJ?
Yeah, go ahead, Slade.
I kind of flip-flop around. Yeah, so in this game, I just don't think – I hate it for Atlanta Hawks fans. I just don't think they're good enough yet. I do think they got a bright future. You got Jalen Johnson, like you said. You got Okongwu, who's still young. You got Rich Ashar, who was a rookie last year. You got Kuminga. You got pieces to build around. I just don't think you have that top star that you really, really need. Jalen Johnson is a dog, don't get me wrong, but I think he would fit more as that number 2 option rather than that number 1 option, especially at power forward. It's hard if you're not like a Giannis or somebody, it's hard for you to take over as a number one option, playing down in the paint like that. However, on the Knicks side, I mean, like you said, like you said, Jacob, that Eastern Conference is wide open. I think there's a lot of teams that are just well-rounded. The Knicks are obviously one of those. They have 5 great the starting lineup is just fabulous. But Jalen Johnson, he's a great player. I mean, Jalen Brunson is a great player. We all know what he is. It's sad to see him on the Knicks and not with the Mavs. Same way with Luka. But yeah, I just feel like the Knicks have it. I think they got it in 4. My
a lot of experience too. A lot of playoff experience too.
Yeah, as a team too. Like this core has been together. Jalen Johnson for me is like the X factor for sure on this Hawks team. Like it's not debatable. Like nobody else is gonna say anybody else. And this run that they've been going on, just getting absolutely blazing hot at the end of the season. Like the reason they were doing that is because Jalen Johnson in pretty much every single one of those games was playing like the best player on the floor. Like he was scoring, getting assists, getting rebounds. Like he was just doing it all. And man, unless he just has like superstar performances, I don't even know if they get one game. Like it's
I disagree with Slade a little bit because I think Johnson's a true one. Like what you said about the paint, like he can handle the rock. Like he can. He can run the offense through him. Like he's a guy who will bring up the court. He can shoot the 3. And I just think that he's inexperienced in the playoffs though. Like he's played in some play-in games, I believe. I don't think he's played in the playoff series. If he has, I think he actually has played in the playoff series, but not near in the capacity of like 2 years ago when they played Boston in the first round. He was probably like the 5th option.
Yeah, he wasn't the guy.
Like his first true playoff series as a 1. So he's definitely something to watch out for in the future. Can he take that next step to be a one-on championship team remains to be seen.
I think I should just frame it more as he needs a running mate that's, a top
dog. He definitely needs a running mate.
I'm not trying to disrespect him at all. I think he's a great player. Like you said, he's a star.
They're not there yet. They're a great story, and they have a bright future if they can put the right pieces in play around him, which I hope they will.
I'm going to clip you, Slade, and I'm going to post and be like, hey, Jalen Johnson hater.
Go ahead. Jim Johnson, big lover. Jalen Johnson hater.
All right, Rockets, Lakers.
We have our next series here, Rockets, Lakers. This is a series that 2 weeks ago was probably the playoff series that everyone was most excited for. Flash forward 2 weeks. Possibly the 3 best players in this series are not even playing to kick off the series. So, yeah, not exactly what we were expecting. What we absolutely were expecting, though, was Luke Kennard to be the leading scorer in Game 1 of this series. I'm sure everyone on the planet was expecting that, especially 2 weeks ago. But in all seriousness, I think this is – and I was listening to Bill Simmons talk some earlier, and I think he kind of hit it on the head with what he was talking about with this. I think this is more about the Rockets than it is about the Lakers. Not to take anything away from the Lakers because we knew what LeBron was going to do. I feel like it's easy to skim over it, but he's unbelievable. Like, he's not near the scorer and doesn't have the athleticism that he does even 2 or 3 years ago, but he's the smartest player on the floor. He handles the offense. That offense runs through him. Ayton was great. Obviously, Kennard was a great story of the game, but the Rockets, even with Durant, I don't love the Rockets, man. But without him, that offense is bad. Like it's stagnant. The spacing is bad. Reed Shepherd having to take 20 shots, not a recipe for success. It's just not, man. And I like Reed Shepherd. But like all season long, it has been a topic of conversation that this team is asking too much of 36-year-old Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant missing this game, I think, just kind of shoots that to the fore, like right to the center of the conversation. And Sengun's got to be better. He's a guy that I think in general this year, like maybe I don't want to say disappointing because he was good, but he didn't take like some big leap, that we could kind of see.
He took a step back, in my opinion.
I kind of agree. Like I think some of that had to do with getting Durant, but this team without Durant is bad. And I still think they win the series. But if they don't win this series, this is a team that going into the offseason next year has to really look in the mirror Because if they can't win this series, this is a team that even with Durant is not close to winning a championship in that Western Conference. Like watch Oklahoma City Thunder play, then watch the Rockets play. Like it's not even close. And I don't say that to be mean, but it's just like it was hard to watch, man. It was bad. Like it was, and I don't expect it. If Durant doesn't play next game, I kind of expect more of the same, but I don't think that Kennard necessarily is going to repeat that. So I think that we may get some games, low-scoring games like we saw in this one. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. We might spend a little bit more time here. I have some thoughts. Hey, shout out Luke Kennard. Let's just give him his props. Incredible stuff. Luke Kennard, what a game. 5 for 5 from the 3-point. Watching that game, it felt like he just could not miss. Like everything he shot.
Playoff performer Luke Kennard.
It was incredible. But let's be honest, like Luke Kennard's not going to do that every game.
No.
And if he does, it would be unbelievable. Like it would be a crazy performance. So I just don't think that's going to happen again. The Lakers played some really great defense. They forced Sengun to not get the shots that he wanted to get and really slow down. Like the only true offensive force they knew the Rockets had through Sengun. And they just shot incredible. Like the Lakers shot 53% from the 3-point line. I honestly just feel like this is a scrappy win for the Lakers. Like I'm not taking anything away from Kennard or LeBron. LeBron, like unreal passes. Like it was fun to watch, just to watch a 40-year-old be the best player on the court. But it was still just like the Lakers aren't going to keep this up. They can't shut down the offense that much every game. They can't shoot that good every game. And they can't hope that the Rockets are only going to shoot like 33% from the 33% from the 3-point line. And like, man, it was not great from the.
I think they may, man. That's where I kind of differ. Is like that team, like that, they can't shoot, man. Like the offense is bad without Durant out there.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like this is just a who's going to get back from injury first. I know there's been some buzz that like KD's a game time decision for game 2. I doubt he plays game 2. He might play game 3 for Luka and Reeves.
They're out, I think. Like,
Reeves is out, but there's a lot of buzz lately that Luka could come back game 4.
He practiced today, so
right, game 3, game 4. Which like, if they come back, like if Luka comes back, they're probably going to win this series, as long as it's not too far gone. And them winning game 1 gives them a great head start. So, Slade, any thoughts?
Yeah, what I literally have written down here is, and I quote, "Is KD going to play, or does he shoot the Rockets in the foot?" Is what I got written down. And what I mean by that is, if you go down 2 or 3 games to LeBron James, while he doesn't play the best of his ability now, he's still LeBron James. He's still one of the greatest of all time, possibly the greatest, whatever your take is. He's probably going to close out the series if you go down 3-0, you know? So, yeah, like y'all said, KD has to come back for the Rockets. The offense is stagnant, as Jacob emphasized. Go back to the Rockets real quick. Also, the guy that needs to step up, and he hasn't stepped up since he came into the league, is Jabari Smith Jr.
Hey, he was a lot. He had his best season this year by far, but yeah, he's got to be better.
But if you have KD out and you're supposed to be a top dog on this team, you have got to take over. Tari Eason played great off the bench, which is always great to see. But like you said, Reed Shepherd taking 20 shots probably should not be happening. And if you're asking him to take those, you're probably not in a good position. However, defense is there. Go over to the Lakers. I mean, Luke Kennard scored 27 points. If he gets 15 points in another game this series, I'd be surprised. And if he got 15 in this game, they lose. So, I mean, all they had to do was shut down one man, and they probably won. Right. But yeah, Rui Hachimura probably could have played a little bit better. But
I thought he played pretty good.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like y'all said, this game
are what they are. Like those are like 4 and 5s. Like those
Yeah.
guys.
I think he's not great in general, so I thought he played pretty
do
good.
what they-
I'm
like,
not saying like they're great. I'm just saying with the injuries that are at hand, some players have got to step up.
I don't
Yeah.
think they can. Like I guess Kennard did, but like,
I don't think they can.
it's like, I mean, Hachimura is not going to get you 30. Like it's just not going to happen. You
But
know?
the final thing I want to lead up with, and we can move on to the next series. The question I have is Bronny James going to score a playoff point?
Goodness, that's horrid. I didn't even see that.
That'd be the nail for Houston. If they give up to Bronny, I mean, shock.
Is Bronny going to score a point? Is what
Blow
I'm
it up in the offseason.
I hate all the reports that are just like, Bronny going to be a featured player with Luka and Austin Reeves out for the series. Like, what are we talking about? 4 minutes.
The definition of
That's what we're talking
nepotism is
about.
what that is.
No.
Yeah, he came in when Smart had to blow his nose for like 3 minutes or something like that. Then-
Hey, Smart played good. Smart was dishing.
The only thing last thing I have on that series is another thing that sticks out to me about that is Fred VanVleet is worth every dollar he gets paid because he is the engine behind setting up some of those other guys on on that team, guys that just aren't capable of creating their own shot.
Yes,
Like if Jabari
he
Smith,
is that playmaker.
Shepard, and other guys like that would benefit so much from having VanVleet out there to be able to handle the ball and set them up with shots instead of having to look for their own.
Right.
And that's what I got on that. I still think the Houston wins the series, and I'm going to say 7 or maybe 6.
I've got the Rockets winning in 7 as well. I just think KD
7.
does come back. I don't think he plays
6.
a second, but I think he comes out
If
third.
KD comes back, it's wraps. Like LA's that shorthanded, but still just not great for Houston. All right, anyways, moving on. We have the 76ers. We have the Celtics. The Celtics very well could be the best team in the NBA. Joel Embiid, you know, I feel terrible for the guy. He's kind of done the injury load management type of stuff all year. He's been kind of the first guy to kind of set the tone on that and do that. So he kind of does that all year, finds a way to kind of stay relatively healthy all year, and was actually playing really, really well when he was on the floor. Besides that, like first month of the season, then what happens? He gets appendicitis, gets his appendix removed a week before the playoffs. Can't make it up, man. And then you're left with a Joel Embiid-less 76ers team, and it's barbecue chicken for Boston if Embiid's not out there. They don't have a shot in this series. I don't really know when Embiid's supposed to be back, but even at that point, if he comes back when they're down even 2-0, it's over. They're not good enough to win 4 out of 5 against this Boston team. Even if Embiid played, I didn't think Philly was going to win this. But just a couple of quick things. It's cool to see Vijay Edgecombe be so featured in this. This is going to be good experience for him to kind of get a lot of shots up in a big playoff series like this as kind of a number 2 option, I would say, on this team. The other thing is if they want to have a shot in this series, Paul George has got to wind back the clock. I don't know if he's capable of it anymore. He showed it in flashes this season. By in flashes, I mean like a couple of games where he had like really big games. Yeah, he's got to wind back the clock like those OKC days if they want to have a chance to win this series. And he's not capable of doing that anymore, man. It's not a knock on him. The guy's he's getting older, man. But real quick to the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla is deserving of Coach of the Year this year. This team had a lot of turnover. This is a team that won a championship a few years ago, and then you trade away Drew Holiday, you trade away Kristaps Porzingis. And when that happens, everyone kind of thought that Tatum wasn't going to play this season. This season was going to kind of be a wash. They were going to kind of do what Indy did, maybe not to a certain extent, but just kind of play for a draft pick, maybe even miss the playoffs. People are saying that. Like, are they going to miss the playoffs? No, they come out and get the 2 seed. Jaylen Brown plays like an MVP candidate during the season. I mean, honestly, you could have made an argument Duke could have been a top 3 MVP finalist. He was that good. You go out and get Anthony Simons. That didn't really work out, and it didn't matter. You trade Drew Holiday for him, and you have tons of guys step up. Pritchard, much bigger role this season. Jordan Walsh kind of stepping up. Bailey Shireman, the kid from Creighton in year 2 of his career, I believe, kind of comes out of nowhere. Sam Hauser with a much bigger role this year. And then Tatum does come back from the Achilles injury in enough time to kind of work him into playoff form. And I'm not a huge Tatum guy. I don't like Boston. I'll say it. I don't like Boston, but I respect Boston. I'm not a Tatum guy either. I've been critical online of Tatum in the past, but to see him go 9 for 17, 25 points in that first game, thought was a welcome sight. This baby might be over in 4. That's more of a testament to Boston, honestly, than it is for Philly. I just think Boston is a buzzsaw.
Yeah, I think Boston to me is the favorite in the East.
100%.
They are so good.
So
and
good.
they're just that team. And I think it's really cool. Like, this is, you want to talk about a great story. Like, this is a team that's a great story. Like, the evolution of the Boston Celtics happening through the injury of Jason Tatum, like, horrible injury. So sad when it happened. It was like, well, like the hopes were gone and it was just like terrible. But then it happens and you go into the next season. Everybody's worried about them. And you have Derek White and Jaylen Brown just turn into monsters, like just playing the best basketball of their career. You have like young guys stepping up. Like it's just a fun thing to watch. Personally, I think, how do you say it? Keita? Is that right?
Neemias Queta, yeah.
Neemias Queta. He is a dog, dude. He bullies guys. And it's like, it's some fun old school bully ball down in the paint. Like it's fun to watch. I just think they're a cool team. But yeah, it's a bloodbath, man. This isn't even going to be a series you really want to watch. Like it's not going to be enjoyable.
Before Slade goes real fast, one thing I want to say, piggyback on you literally in like 10 seconds, is I think honestly there were some positives to Tatum getting injured. Not anything to do with Tatum,
right?
But what it did for everyone else, like what it did for guys like Pritchard, and not even necessarily White because he was already that guy, but like Pritchard and Sam Hauser and guys like that, Shireman, gave them a chance to step up. Now they're ready for this moment because they had to do it all year, and now Tatum's back on top of that.
Right.
So, what you got, Slade?
Yeah, so going over to the 76ers, as y'all kind of emphasized, this series is probably over. If you don't have an Embiid out there, it's probably over. Paul George, like you said, he's just old. You can't ask too much more out of him. I would like to see Quentin Grimes step up a little bit. We've seen him as a mouse. I'm not saying he has to average 30 or 40, but he's got to put up like 18-ish game in and game out just for a chance. But Maxey also has to go crazy. And you're asking a lot out of Maxey in this series if you even want a chance.
Right.
I don't think it's going to come about. But I think the Celtics got it in 4. Jacob does know my takes on Jason Tatum. I'm a big Jason Tatum fan. I think he's well-deserved to be like a top 7, 8 player in the league. But, yeah, like y'all said, with him being out,
I'm cutting that.
with him being out, Jaylen Brown really did step up and just turn this season into like a very positive season. Like y'all said,
they may win a championship. Like it's unreal what they were.
But I think with Tatum coming back, that Tatum Brown duo is just as special as Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic. I think they work perfectly off of each other. And I just think this is going to be a bloodbath. Celtics winning 4.
Yeah.
And I hate it because I wanted to see. I love Joel Embiid, and I hate it for him.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of bloodbaths, we have the next series up here. Again, if you can end the series in 2, this would be one to do it. If the series could be over in 1, hey, man, and again, I don't want to get too disrespectful towards the Suns because they had a really good year. Maybe one of the most surprising teams in the NBA this year. Like when you give up what they did last year, when you trade away Kevin Durant, you expect to take a few steps back, and they actually took a few steps forward. This team kind of works better when Devin Booker's in the driver's seat. Like if you scroll down a little bit, Booker had a good game, so I don't want to kind of harp on him too much. But 8 for 17, don't even think I'm being sarcastic when I say this. That 17 number needs to rise to about 30 because that's the only shot they have in this series. Because I remember, so a couple years ago, flashback, Durant just gets traded there. They're playing against Denver in a series. This is a Denver team that was a lot better than they were. He single-handedly won them a couple games that series, playing 2 of like the best basketball games I've ever seen. And I feel like he still has that in there. But it's just weird, man. He doesn't look like the same – like he has like the same aggressiveness as he did back then. Jalen Green was all right. He was really good in their playing game. Dylan Brooks getting his shots up, man. But still, it's just like
22 is terrible.
And man, there's just not enough talent. It's just a complete. And this is a team that had a chance to be the 6th seed, like it's recently as like, a week ago. So it's just a tough draw. Like they're completely overmatched. The Thunder, unbelievable. Like I mean, Shea played horrible. Like he played horrible, and he scored 25. 17 free throws is outrageous. I can't even talk about it. It's like I know some people like go over the top with like his free throw like foul baiting stuff. I'm one of those people. It drives me nuts, man. So like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Jalen Williams was great. Chet was great.
I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from this game is one, like everybody knew the Suns were going to come in and just get dominated. Like the Thunder could go back to back, and they're just a great team. The Suns are too small. Like they're running out like this lineup, like one guy is 6'7", center is 6'11", and then the rest of them are like 6'4", 6'5". Like they just don't have enough size on the floor to keep up with the Thunder. But I think the Thunder, like putting up a performance like this, not that they haven't already been doing it, but having J-Dubs have a good game is big for them.
He will
because he needs to for them to go far. Like for them to go far, he's going to need to play good as well as the rest of their lineup. And he's a key piece in that for their like broader success, making a deep run into the playoffs. So that's a good sign to see him do that night one.
Yeah. A few things that I got written down is the Suns have absolutely no chance. What I have down there. I literally have written down Booker is not him.
Whoa. Nah, I'm out on that.
No, I
right
don't like
now he's not, dude.
I don't like Devin Booker as a post. I mean, I still like Luka Doncic, the banner between them. I still don't like Devin Booker, but I just think coming into the series, like you said, Jacob, you have to take over. You're like the only guy on that team with a pulse.
You got to give me 40. You got to give me 40 to give us a shot.
And even then, you probably don't have a chance. But also, not even just Devin Booker not playing the best he could or taking the most shots he could. The rest of the team just did nothing to help. They had no help outside of the top 3 guys, and that's never a recipe for success. However, on the flip side, you're playing a team that's probably the most well-rounded in the league and probably one of the most complete teams I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you even get down there with Nikola Topic and Aaron Wiggins, who are like 15th guys down there. I mean, they're starting players on
Wiggins 8 minutes is ridiculous. Wiggins could play 30 minutes on some like other contending teams. Like I'm not even joking.
It's crazy how well-rounded this team is.
They're so healthy too.
This team. Healthy. I mean, this game should have been even further apart. Usually with the Thunder, you have the big 3, big 4, and then you always have like one bench guy go off like 15 or 16 pretty much every night because there's so many good ones. Whoever gets the most minutes usually just goes off. And we really didn't have that, but I mean, like I said, this team's so complete. It's hard to compete with them. The Shea thing does kind of upset me the same way that it upsets Jacob. 15 or 17 free throws is kind of absurd.
And
then he don't even play. He don't even shoot good from the floor. Shooting 5 for 14, 0 for 4 from the 3 ball. It's just not. It's hard to watch, but at the same time, like you have to respect it at this point. He's done it so well for a few years now. But yeah, I just think this series has no chance. Give me the Thunder in 4.
Yeah,
in conclusion, Shea is horrible. Moving on.
But like in all seriousness, like last thing I'll say on them, one shout out Colin Gillespie, 23 minutes, -40 plus minus, so that's always good. Out of 15 months. I mean, I think I could have went out there and literally ran wind sprints and touched the baseline, then ran to the other baseline and touched it continuously for 23 minutes, and probably put up a better plus minus than that. I don't know how it's possible. So shout out to him. Number 2 thing is, in all seriousness, it's not even like Shea, we know is a top 3 player on the planet, good playoff performer too. For me, it's the way they sub. Like those bench guys, they're rotating in like every 3 or 4 minutes, and they're always fresh and they're constantly on the ball and just harassing you. Like 80-something points in an NBA game in 2026 is ridiculous, and they do it all the time. It's not like Phoenix just had some terrible game. That's what OKC does to you because they all defend and they're always fresh because they sub like crazy and they're so hard to beat. But anyways, moving on. Next series.
Here we go. Here we go. This is the one we've been waiting for.
This one's interesting. Again, I know I talked about Bill Simmons a little bit earlier. I think he said something I thought was really cool earlier, and I quote, he said, if you just woke up from a coma and you if you haven't watched the NBA season and you watch these two teams play, you would have a hard time deciding which team was the 1 seed. And I think that's really true because if you look at the two rosters, I literally made a video a couple days ago talking about the Magic, the most disappointing team in the NBA. And that's what makes sports so great is because how fast things can change. Because if they lost that game to the Hornets, that stands true. Like I think they would be the most disappointing team in the NBA this season. But if they go on and win this series, all of that is forgotten about. Jamal Mosley's probably their coach next year, and all the heat that's on Banchero right now dies down. One thing I will say about Banchero, they haven't had a good enough team to win a playoff series before. I think this is his best shot. He's been a really good playoff performer in his career. He has actually elevated his game in the playoffs in his career. Jalen Suggs is just fantastic, man. He's a guy you want to have on his team. Getting Anthony Black back is huge. Wagner is healthy. They're fully healthy, man. Like Desmond Bane makes his team a lot better. One thing I will say about the Pistons, like if we go over them real quick, I think that a lot of things that make the Pistons so good is one, their size, and their physicality, which the Magic kind of match up with them blow for blow. Another thing is that kind of how hard they play because they're so young and they're so hungry. And I feel like when you get in the playoffs, everyone's playing like that. It reminds me of that Knicks team around like 4 or 5 years ago when they way exceeded expectations and they got in the playoffs and lost in the first round. It reminds me some of that because this team's so hungry and like everyone's hungry in the playoffs. Not saying that these other teams aren't trying in the regular season, maybe not to the extent that Detroit was. I don't think that's crazy to say. Maybe it is. I just don't think it is. But the thing that I will say about Detroit, they have the clear best player on the floor in Cade Cunningham. But another thing I'll say in that, Cade was fantastic in game 1. In this game, the Magic controlled for 48 minutes. Not a good sign. I still think Detroit wins the series. I think they get it in 7. I initially had it in 6 anyways. So this isn't like some huge shock to me. Because I knew that Detroit's not your conventional 1 and Orlando's not your conventional 8. I think there's a little bit of both happening in this series. Like the gap between the 8 and the 1 here, it's normally here. I think this one's like here. Like I really genuinely do. So I think Detroit still gets them. I think it comes down to a game 7 in the Motor City. I think they get them. But
awesome.
Duren, the big thing from here, Duren, who may win the most improved player, got to give you more. We got to see more than 4 shots, more aggressiveness from Jalen Duren. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great series. It's a really compelling series for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, even though the Magic got my Hornets out, RIP, the Magic are one of those exciting teams to watch. They remind me of the Hornets. Like it's a lot of young talent. It's a lot of like, they play way under like expectations sometimes, and then they play way above expectations sometimes. Like they can just catch you off guard. Like it's an exciting young team. And so like, and they don't really have like, I mean, no, Paolo is the clear 1, right? But they don't really have at a lot of point this season, Desmond Bane has been that guy. And so like, they don't really have this like clear cut, like this is our 100% like best player every night. It's kind of spread between like 4 guys. And so it makes it fun to watch. It makes it I think it's hard to beat a team like that because any given night, any guy could go for 30. And that's just hard to play against. But the thing for me is just like, and the Pistons just look incompetent on offense unless Cade was just taking it. And
I think there's some nerves there. I think
yeah, it's a really young team. like especially like in their starting lineup, like Duran and Thompson are both young guys that are trying to get adjusted. Man, Asar Thompson, like you guys notice his minutes, like they're pretty low compared to the other. Like they took him out like for a lot of the fourth quarter to try to get some offense going because it was just so bad. And so you're taking like a defensive player of the year finalist out of the game to try to get some offense going. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just going to hinder your team and what they can do if you can't get offense going with those guys on the floor. Like it's just your ceiling's not that high. And so even if they make it out of, because I think very plausibly they still make it out of this, but there's a chance they drop it. And but if they don't pick it up, like round 2 is gonna hurt. Like they're gonna have a hard time making that out of round 2.
Yeah, so the Magic here, I'll just make this short and sweet because y'all pretty much covered every basis. The Magic here, I think just Franz and Paolo can if they step it up, I think this team really has a chance to, especially in the East where everybody's pretty much even. Everybody's pretty much well-rounded. I think they could make it like maybe to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they make it to the finals, but I think they could shock a few people. They're really good and they don't deserve to be an 8 seed like Jacob said. But the Pistons, I mean, outside of Cade Cunningham, it was like nobody else. Tobias played about how you expect Tobias to play. But like you said, JJ, Asar, he's not as good offensively as Amin is, and we knew that.
Right.
But Jalen Duren has to kind of step it up, and you could expect a few more shots from Duncan Robinson just because he is that shooter type player. But I mean, you can't ask much more out of Cade, especially in the first game of this series. But the series will be fun to watch. Probably won't be the best series to watch overall, but I think it'll be fun to watch. Keep an eye on.
Yeah,
I do have the Pistons winning 7 though.
Yeah, I think
Game 7 would be awesome.
It's one of the other thing, like real quick, I would add is like thing to watch out for with the Pistons. Like one, they have to defend better because that's kind of their calling card. That's how they won so many games in the regular season. And 2 is like watch out for guys like Dennis Jenkins that had such good regular seasons and helped them win a lot of games. Now that it is a playoff atmosphere with playoff defense, is a guy like that capable of replicating that regular season success? Because I feel like we see that in the playoffs sometimes where guys like that end up getting their minutes really cut. You know what I mean? So it's just something to watch. All right, so next series here we have San Antonio and Portland. And this is actually one of those cases where we've probably been a little disrespectful to some teams. Like I feel like when we talked about Phoenix, we should have spent more time talking about – we did talk about how good OKC was. But a lot of these matchups – these teams are deserving to be here. There's just some really good teams in the NBA that they're going up against. But I say that all that to say is that I don't have a ton to say negative about Portland. Like they lost by, 13 points on the road. I thought they played well. San Antonio is just a lot better team than they are. I think there's a lot of positives for Portland in this game. The first one is, and the glaring one is, Deni Avdija is on his way to becoming a superstar. He's 25 years old. I would say that it's a big breakout year, but his big breakout was probably just getting out of Washington. I mean, let's face it, in the same way we talked about the Browns last night. Was Deni Avdija ever bad, or was it just that – not that he was terrible in Washington, but, hey, maybe he would have been doing this since he was a rookie if he got drafted in Portland. I don't know. World will never know. But he's doing it now at 25 years old. He was efficient, 30 ball. Another big thing that stands out to me, Scoot Henderson was awesome. And this is a guy, especially playing against Wemby, a guy that he came out and publicly stated before the draft, I should be drafted ahead of this guy. I'm going to be better than him. Hasn't played out well for him at all. But I feel like we're at a point now where we're so far past that even being a conversation that nobody really talks about Scoot anymore. And I feel like that's the best thing for Scoot because he can just kind of put his head down and ball. And he kind of did that this season. Had his best season of his career, started the year injured, came back. He was really good. Drew Holiday struggled, but it's Drew Holiday. He's meant a lot to this team. But I'm really happy for this team. This is a team that I pinned last year as being a team that I thought was going to make the playoffs and be a sneaky team. I remember talking to Slate about it because I remember it was like first night of the NBA season. I was talking about them. They were playing the Warriors. I was like, they're going to beat the Warriors tonight. And they ended up losing by 30. And they I was just a year early because I've liked the roster. Going out and getting Holiday was huge. Getting Avdija was huge. But I'm talking about them too much because the story of the night is the Spurs. I'm going to say something about Victor. I think when Victor is on offensively like he was the other night, I'm not going to say he's the best player in the league, but I think he's the most impactful player in the NBA because the defense plays every night. If you watch a Spurs game, it's going to play out the same way every single night. There's going to be a really good player that is really used to getting downhill and getting whatever he wants, and he's going to go down there a couple of times, and he's going to attack Wemby, and he's going to get blocked. And then by the third quarter, every time somebody dribbles into the paint, they're going to pull the Steve Nash move where they dribble around up under the goal and then bring it back out and then not even attempt that shot. Like, he just alters the game so much and just gets in dudes' heads so much. And when he's drilling 3 balls, 5 for 6 like he was, and gets on a heater like that, he's the most impactful player in the NBA. And he's unbelievable because the defense, it literally alters the game so much. Like, I think the most impressive thing Wemby did in the game on Sunday was that he made Donovan Cleveland look small, which is like an impossible task because that is a large human. And in the same way to OKC, they just have so much depth. Like, when Dylan Harper is playing 23 minutes, like, he's so good, man. And like, Kelvin Johnson didn't even play well. He's a guy that can hurt you. Castle is unbelievable. De'Aaron Fox is a superstar. And I think that, like, you account for all these things, and then, oh yeah, Devin Vassell had a spell where he hit like 4 3-pointers in like a 5-minute stretch. Like, he can do that too. Like, they're in that OKC tier as far as like depth and as far as having a superstar and as far as how they defend with intensity. It's like, I can't wait to watch them play Denver, assuming it's Denver in the second round. And then if we get to see them in OKC, like,
That's a dream.
Oh man, like, this team is so good. They're so good.
You guys think Wemby's going to win the MVP?
I think Shea gets it again.
Unfortunately,
I don't think he should. If I had a vote, I think I would vote for Jokic.
Yeah, me too. I think Jokic deserves it.
All right, JJ, do you want to take over? Or you want me to go this time?
I don't really have much to say about this. Blazers have no chance.
It's not even like a Blade. Like, they played fine.
Yeah, it's not the Blazers.
The Spurs are just so good.
It's just a test to the Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just tap on it a little bit. Like you said, Jacob, Avdia's a dog. That team's just, I think it's just got to grow together a little bit more. There's a lot of young players on that team besides Drew Holiday. But you got to have more out of Jeremy Grant. You got to have a little bit more. I mean, out of Drew Holiday, he didn't play great, but I mean, he is aging, so there's not much you can expect out of him. This team's just fun to watch. It's got a lot of young guys that you just like to see do good. Shaedon Sharpe.
That's the guy.
It's just a fun team, but unfortunately, they're going against the Spurs. On the Spurs side, though, I mean, the alien is just a freak. It's ridiculous how good he is. You can't talk him up enough. And then also behind him, like you said, you got Castle, Fox, Vassell, Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson, Bismack Biyombo,
Luke Cornett.
No, but for real though, like
Castle, Waters.
For real though, like Castle and Vassell didn't even like shoot particularly good. Besides Vassell in that 5-minute stretch, like you said. I mean, and they still won by what, 13? Yeah. I just think if you have everybody on that team on, it is a scary sight. But yeah, I think they got a great supporting cast, another well-rounded team. I think they win in 4, maybe 5. They might be the Trailblazers might be able to take more from them, but I don't think so. I just think the Spurs are that good.
The live reaction
Hawks
here,
pulled it out.
Barn burner in New York, man. Jeez.
Well, there goes my Knicks in 4 prediction.
Incredible.
It was always Knicks in 6, man. It was always.
Let's see how. Let's just look at the box.
Well, let's just look at it real quick.
Jalen Johnson did. Jalen Johnson even played
with 32.
McCollum, I love.
Kuminga 19.
Incredible stuff.
Wow. I mean, Brunson things.
Struggled a little.
They just didn't have any points off the bench.
Brunson didn't shoot particularly well.
They're not deep at all in comparison to
their starting lineup is very well rounded, like a very good.
Akil played bad again. Like, he was playing bad when I was watching. And
who did?
Akil Johnson was good again tonight. That's gonna be a good series. The Hawks are a good team. Like, they're gonna get a game in Atlanta. That's gonna come out 2-2.
Be awesome.
New York.
All right.
Is that all 8 of them?
That's all 8.
That's all 8.
Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be. I think last thing I would add, like NBA wise, and I want to get you guys' input too, is I think there are some good first round matchups. And I say this to say because I feel like with some years, like the first round matchups are kind of stacked. I feel like we didn't get a super stacked first round, but I feel like the second round matchups are going to be loaded. Like I think that it's setting up to be a lot of fun, man. Like it really is. So, like I'm excited, man. I haven't been as into the NBA this year as I have been in the past. I'm assuming it's the same for you, Slade. I think it's the opposite for JJ actually.
It's
But
because the Mavs are terrible.
Mavs are bad. It was a tank year, but I'm pumped, dude.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
final thoughts. I'll let you go, JJ. You can go.
I've never been into the NBA like I am this year. Like I'm loving it. So this is a fun playoffs to watch so far.
Yeah, my final thoughts in the NBA is I kind of have like who I think is going to win. I got the Cavs coming out of the East. I just think.
Whoa, wait. Should we live thought here on the pod? Should we release a whole episode on NBA playoff predictions like soon? Like do a whole round by round and give our winner? Like each of us, should that be a thing? Or should we just spill the beans right here?
I
We
mean,
could
if you
do
want to go round by round and see it, or if you want me to just tell you who I think's in the finals, and then
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one for next week after the draft reaction.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Right.
we can give like we're going into like the second round of NBA playoffs.
I'm in for that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'll save that. I'll put that on the back burner.
You should
Yeah, I just think the West is a toss up between anybody. The East is a toss up too. It's just I think the West has the top dogs in the league, really.
yeah, watch out for those Suns, man.
Devin Booker,
Suns,
he's
Hawks.
coming.
Here comes Gillespie.
All right, Slade, share with the people what we're doing with the draft, so they don't get alarmed that we're going to run them through another mock draft. We don't want them to panic, but just share what we're doing.
Yeah, guys. So you actually don't have another 2 hours left in this live or in this video. We're not going to do another draft. Put y'all through that. We've already done it. Go check out our other video. We're just going to do. I think all of us came up with a few, like 3 to 5 hot takes. And what we're really going to do is just I'll give a hot take, and then I'll let them two debate me, like disagree or agree with me. Just kind of get their reactions about what I said. I don't know if either of y'all want to start with one, or you want me to go?
Let's just rotate one by one. Slade, you go first.
You want me to kick it off? Okay. Let me pick out which one I want to go with. I won't go too heavy yet. So this one I got Cassius Howell will be a top 3 pass rusher this year from the first round.
Oh, dude, you're stealing my hot takes, man. That's just facts.
Is it just facts?
Nah, probably not, but I think it should be.
I just like Cassius Howell.
I
don't have much reason behind it. I think there's a lot of great edge rushers in this draft, which
There's the reasoning right there. I mean, led the SEC in sacks. That's what I've been saying, man. I'm a production guy. Like the dude, he gets to the quarterback.
what I'm saying is I don't think, like, personally, I don't prefer Cassius Howell over any other one particularly. I just think he has the tools and the assets to be able to be that top 3 guy. And so I'm going to put that out there. I think Cassius Howell will be a top 3 edge rusher coming out of this draft.
I like it.
Just to piggyback on you, Slade, if the Cowboys got him at 20, I'd run around the living room. And I stand on that because I think he's going to be a stud. All right, what you got, JJ?
All right, my first hot take. You want me to save the real stinger?
Yeah. Let's save those two.
All right, I'll save
later, man.
I'll save the stinger. My first hot take is going to be about a running back. And his name is Jonah Coleman. I personally think Jonah Coleman is going to be the best running back out of this draft class. I think he's just a thumper, like an old school, just like he's not going to be this like breakaway speed kind of guy. I think that's a lot of the reason he didn't run the 40. He's just a big guy. And I don't think he's the Mike Washington kind of bowling ball. Like, I think he's going to be a lot more David Montgomery bowling ball, I think that's a decent comp for Jonah Coleman. Like
So
just a
better than
guy.
Love.
Huh?
Better than Jeremiah Love. Throwing that out there.
Oh, sorry. Best
Okay.
RB2. Not
Okay.
better than Jeremiah
I was
Love.
about to
Sorry,
say,
that's
you just said you were
that's a
saving the
ridiculous
stinger
take.
towards the end, and then you go out and say that. I was
No,
about
no,
to
no.
lose my
I
mind.
think Jonah Coleman
I
is
was
going
gonna
to
say,
be
why did you not say that towards the
sorry,
end?
Jeremiah Love is such a given that I like forget. I don't even
Right.
consider him in like any kind of conversation, you know?
That-
So Jonah Coleman, though, I think he's better than Jadarian Price. I think he's better than Mike Washington. He's got great hands, like just does not drop the ball, which I think is really valued in today's NFL. And he's a guy who can just run on the goal line and just gets you a few yards. Like again, I don't think he's going to be like this like crazy efficient guy, but I think he sees the field well. I think he reads things well. I don't think he's going to break away for big runs, but I think he's going to just get NFL teams the yards they want and go through the gaps they want him to go through. And I think they're going to be happy with his production. So, yeah, that's my hot take. I'm not very high on Jadarian Price. I think the NFL likes Jadarian Price a lot better than Jonah Coleman, mostly because Jonah Coleman didn't participate in the combine. I think that's really hurting Coleman.
I don't want to spoil our video the other day that we came out with, but you were the one that was advocating for Jadarian Price to be that number 32 pick to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, which I think still is a plausible situation.
Okay, you're just saying that Jonah Coleman, when it's all said and done, will be the running back number 2.
Personally, I think Jonah Coleman is better.
Okay, you're not saying he's taking number 2. You're saying he's going to end up being number 2. Okay.
No, I think he will end up being the second best, not the second taken. That's
all
my
right.
take.
Snake?
Okay, I would think that first hot take I'm going to go with here, and I think it's become more hotter as the days have went on. If somebody would have told you this a month ago, I don't think it's that hot. But I think that despite the fact that he has a fully completed retirement fund, I think Akeem Mesidor still goes in the top 15. I think that there's going to be a team in that top 15 that's not scared off by him being 5 years of age, and they're going to look at the production. They're going to look at the 12.5 sacks, 17 TFLs, and they're going to watch the film. I mean, dude's an animal. And I watched him play a lot last year at Miami. I'm a Clemson fan, so I watch a lot of ACC football. I watched him play a lot of games. He's incredible. So I think that I'd say lukewarm, semi-hot take. I'd say it's actually kind of hot take. Like, I don't think any mocks really have him that high. But I think there's
I don't know.
that loves him, and that's their guy, and he goes top 15 in the draft.
Yeah, I could see it for sure. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Like you said, just the 25 years of age, I think it's going to scare a lot of people. I think he's a end of round 1, maybe beginning of round 2 guy, personally.
Wow. I do not think he makes it to round 2.
He may, man. Some teams are saying it. I'd be crazy if he did.
I think he's going to go between like 15 and 23. I think the line ends for him at the Bears. Like, I think he's a Bear if he makes it there. Because they need like a pure pass rusher. He's really good, bro. Like, I could really see him going to the Bucks. I think that's a really plausible landing spot. They need a guy like that.
Stay in state, born and raised.
Low moving cost.
Yeah.
We love that.
All right, I'm gonna go with my second one here. Yet again, it's not like the biggest of hot takes, but we're just getting our feet wet a little bit. Monroe Freeling will be the biggest fall in the first round. He's projected on a few mocks I've seen like 13. He's 17 here. I think he's going to go outside the top 25. I just think as fast as he rose, I think he's going to fall just as fast. I don't know what y'all think about that. That's just what I think.
I'm in there with you, bro. I don't know that I'm going to agree with your take in that he's going to be the biggest faller. I don't think he's worthy of those picks, like comparatively to the other tackles and O-linemen on the board. Like, I just don't think he's proven as much as they have. Like, I think the other guys are just better. And that's not a knock on him. Like, I think he's a solid prospect. And I really liked him getting a little bit of buzz when he was slipping into the back half of the first round. But then he started getting this, like, there was that one mock draft that came out and it was like, hey, number 6 to the Browns. And it was like, what are we talking about? That is insane. And it could happen.
Yeah, man, come on.
You love him?
84-inch wingspan, man.
All right. Well, you have fun with your bird. Not
I
a
think
big
he's
fan.
I'm not as low on him as you guys are.
He's an athletic freak, but I think he's one of those guys.
Oh my god.
This guy's out jumping us. He's got
6'7",
like 160 pounds.
What are you doing? It's like a grizzly bear dunking a basketball off of 2 feet.
Grizzly.
Was the day. All right, Jacob or JJ, whoever.
All right. Yeah, this next one might hurt some people. I'm just gonna be real. Okay.
Don't steal mine. Don't steal mine. Okay.
It's this guy. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's a reception merchant. He's really good at running like little short routes that get the ball in his hand, and he's great after the catch. I don't think that's going to work in the NFL. I think you have to be an elite.
Booper bup.
I think you have to be an elite separator in the NFL to like be sustainable, and I don't think that's going to happen. Because I just don't see that in him. So my hot take is Omar Cooper Jr. is not worthy of a first-round pick.
Wow.
I don't think he's worthy of a first-round pick. I think he is a guy who's going to add a lot in a role, but I think honestly, like if you rewind to the beginning of this college football season and look at where Omar Cooper Jr. was being valued, he was like a top 100 player. And I think just these guys, when they're on a college football team that makes a deep playoff run, especially when you make some highlight plays in that run, like when you really like make an impact down the line, like the NFL has some recency bias to it. Like they're getting to these prospects late in the game, and everybody else is just excited about the guys who have done the best most recently. So I can't remember exactly what team it was against. I think it was against Indiana State, but he had like 200 yards and out of his 900 for the season. Like it's just not like his numbers aren't even exciting. And I just don't think what I see from him is like, hey, this is an elite number 1 guy. It feels a lot more gadgety to me and like a guy who you'd love to have on your team behind another receiver and or any other kind of weapon. Like that's how I feel about Omar Cooper.
I don't want any part of that one. You gotta leave me out. You gotta leave me out of that one.
I almost my hot take was almost the Indiana boys aren't that good. That was almost my take in general.
It's Indiana's still getting doubted after the 16-0 run.
No, I didn't say Indiana team. Like I think they play together as a team. I think Cignetti is a great coach, but I just don't think the Indiana prospects are like what they are measuring up to.
He also got injured last year. He had 800 yards in 9 games. I think got hurt.
We'll see.
He's a stud dog. All right.
I don't believe it.
Let's see.
JJ's not buying the hype.
He was not even mocked in the first round. I want you to realize this. He was not being mocked in the first round a month ago. Maybe a month and a half ago. Huh?
I think it's telling. I don't know. I think he obviously I don't think anybody maybe realized he was almost a 4.3 guy either before mocks came out. I don't know.
It's fair.
I think I don't know how hot this one is, but I think that Ty Simpson goes safely in the first round and will start 13 plus games next year for somebody in the NFL.
Do you have a prediction of who?
I don't know. Scroll down. I feel like
for me, I think it's the Cardinals.
I think it's the Steelers. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back. waiting out this long. I think if in that pick, in that scenario, I think it is the Steelers in that situation.
That would be
Okay.
a lot of fun.
Like Pittsburgh could take it, like scroll up. Like I even think that like
You'd go higher than this?
I think he could, dude. Like I honestly wouldn't even be
I'm out on that.
like
Maybe 18. Maybe for the darn Vikings.
I'd say like the
Three
one to
quarters.
watch out for. I'm putting this out here now. I'm telling you, is 16. If he goes 16 Thursday night to the Jets, I told you so right here because he's a first round prospect. I think that he got hurt to end the season. Like if you go back,
I think he's good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's much better than people are
like
giving him
if,
credit
like
for.
in the way we're talking about Omar Cooper, like if you want to say like that him having such a good end of the season and a good season put like a good taste in the scout's mouth, I feel like Simpson is the opposite, which I feel like scouts like don't really do that as much as you think though. Like I feel like they really are try to like watch the tape and but like from a fan perspective, I feel like a lot of that's like fan perspective stuff. Like fans get really high on low on guys depending on what they did, which is what we are, right? Like we're doing it from a fan perspective.
I'm
But
an
I think
analyst.
Simpson, like at the beginning of the year last year, from that Georgia game on, I think he was genuinely like he was the Heisman front runner, best quarterback in the country. Like he's unbelievable. And then I think he got injured and he played bad down the stretch. Bam also could not run the football at all, which gave him no shot. Like if you want to do the Mendoza to Simpson thing, like I think Mendoza is obviously the better prospect and better player, but if you flip the situations, Mendoza had a top 2 rushing offense in the entire country. So it makes a big difference when Bama cannot run the football and literally everything was on his shoulders. I think he goes to, I'm just going to call it, I think he goes to the Jets at 16. That's my like hot take, putting that out there.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. Todd Simpson, I think he's good enough, but I just think there's so little amount of teams that actually need somebody besides Jets, Arizona, and Steelers. I think outside of them, you really don't have many options.
Which that's why I think Jets at 16. Like that's like I'm pinning that one. It's like I think that's where he goes because I think if the Jets don't draft him there, I don't think he gets 33. I don't think there's a shot. So
Just so you know, Geno Smith is going to lead the Jets to the promised land.
Well, Geno Smith is going to start, I would say, approximately 2 weeks next season for the New York Football Jets.
All right.
That's my take.
I think the Cardinals are going to trade up into I think this is going to be a Jackson Dart type trade, and they're going to trade up into this range and snag Simpson. I think Simpson's a Cardinal.
Brissett's the future, man.
Yeah. 34.
All right. Another one I got here is that there's a lot of teams that have like multiple picks in the first round of this draft. But personally, I think the team that is going to win the draft is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the Giants at 5-10. You have the Cowboys at 12-20. I think the Chiefs at 9-29. I think they're going to make great picks at those spots. I think if you go and watch the other video, I have them drafting Mentor Delane at the 9, and that goes into another hot take I have coming forward. I think the Chiefs get it done. I think they're going to have some really smart picks there. They got a number 40 right there. I think they're going to be the best team coming out of the draft at their positions. I'm not going to say they have the best 3 players in the draft, but I think they're going to have some top dogs.
Gosh, I hope not.
I mean, when they get Kenyon Sadiq at number 9, I mean,
they're going to get the D- draft grade. Well, speaking of Jacob, unless you have any thoughts.
No, I mean, it's a great organization. They've drafted really well. They've had late first round picks, and that's led to guys like Karlaftis and Xavier Worthy, and they always draft well, man. So I'm definitely not doubting Kansas City after one bad year. So
by the way, Brashard Smith is starting over.
That's right.
K-Dubs. So
get Emo in there. Get Big Emo in there.
Well, this speaking of Sadiq, this leads me to my my stinger.
Kenyon Sadiq is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Eli Stowers, tight end 1
Okay.
in the
Going the complete
2026
opposite.
NFL draft class. Just an absolute freak. Like, I think this guy's going to be awesome. I also think it's not going to be hard to prove my take that he's tight end 1, even if he's not tight end 1, like long term. But after year 1, I think Eli Stowers is going to have a lot more exciting landing spot than Kenyon Sadiq. I think Sadiq's going to go to a team that it's like, gosh, it's going to be miserable to watch. The team Sadiq is playing on, because I do think Sadiq will go high enough to where it's going to be like, he's just going to be on a bad offense. Stowers, like, I could see him going to like Denver or a team like that who really could use a tight end, a Sean Payton offense where they want a guy who can do more than one thing. This guy's basically a receiver.
Yeah, he is a receiver. He's unreal.
He's really good. Like, you can't ask for much more athletically. Of course, Sadiq is the better athletic prospect, but I think Eli Stowers, like, his production was just more exciting. Like, he was the clear-cut number 1 option at Vanderbilt for Pavia, Heisman runner-up, by the way. And so I just think I just think Stowers is the number 1 tight end in this class. I think Sadiq obviously is like, he's a pretty good prospect. I'm very low on Sadiq. I think Sadiq's 40 times got everyone hot and bothered, but guy's got to get on the field and actually dominate some targets for me to get excited about him. So I think Stowers is tight end 1, and I'm excited to see what he does.
I don't even have a problem with that. The other guy to watch out for in that group, Michael Trigg at Baylor. If you haven't seen that monster play football, missing out, man. Absolute stud. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think Stowers is the more polished. I mean, he's basically a wide receiver, right? Like, I don't know how good of a blocker he is.
Right.
But from what I watched a lot of college football. I've gotten to see him play a lot. He's a lot of fun to watch, man. He's really good. Can you slide on over to that quarterback slide for me? Let's see what we got cooking here.
Click off the tight end one.
Yeah, let's see. Keep going. Keep scrolling. Who do we got down here? Who do we got?
Aid.
Let's see. How about, I think, I really don't know, man. That's about all I got. I think maybe a fun hot take I could give you is that Taylen Green makes a 53-man roster next year and impacts a game at a position other than quarterback. I think that's maybe like a fun take that's been kind of thrown around some, is that like maybe Taylen Green like either runs like some wildcat quarterback or maybe even like they put him out wide at receiver or something. I don't know.
Taysom Hill.
I think that maybe like crazy hot take I get you is that Taylen Green impacts the game somewhere next year doing something, whether that's some like gadgety quarterback role or it's like wildcat quarterback or like third and short quarterback, or they put him out wide and let him run a couple jet sweeps. I think he's such a great athlete, and he was a pretty dang good quarterback in college too, to be fair. Like he can really spin it, man. Like he's kind of up and down, like he was kind of sporadic at times. But I think he has a chance. Like, this is a guy, like, you go back to like Sean Payton. I feel like Sean Payton is just like itching to get his hands on this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's such a good football player to where it's like, hey, I think this guy's good enough to play. I don't know if he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, I don't think he is, especially not yet right now. But I definitely think he's an NFL football player, if you know what I mean. Like, blazing speed, really big. So that's my hot take, I guess, is that Taylen Green is on a 53-man roster and playing snaps, doing something next year for somebody.
Don't hear what I'm not saying. Like, I'm not hating on the dude. I just I feel like it happens too much. He's not the problem. I've just heard that a million times and I'm getting fed up with it. Tired of it.
One thing I will say is like Cade Klubnik being ahead of him is just like insanity.
No, yeah, this big board is weird. Cole Payton, like, I think Taylen Green is probably like more in this, like above Cole Payton, like in this range.
If you're gonna
like
tell me
right behind Beck.
is 60 slots better. Like, I've watched them both play a lot. Like, if I had to draft one, Drew Aller or Taylon Green, I'd draft Taylon Green 4 times before
People love Aller, man. People
Yeah, I've
love
heard
him
a
as
lot
like
of-
a prospect to get drafted behind Stafford.
big
Yeah.
with a good arm.
I've heard
So-
a lot of Drew Aller love here recently.
Yeah.
We will
Christian
see.
Hackenberg. He's Christian Hackenberg round 2.
JJ, how many more do you got? I've got 2 more, so I was gonna.
I don't have any more.
got
I have
this.
one that my wife shared with me, and I can share it with the
Let me
class.
give one, and then I'll let you give yours, and then I'll finish
right.
off again.
Perfect.
All right. I'm gonna save my scorching hot one to last. So this one is Mansour Delaney will be a top 5 to 8 quarterback in the league this year.
Hmm.
In the league, not just in this draft. In the league, I think he's long. I think he's got that press coverage, but also he's got the coverage just to step back and just guard up on somebody. He's also really fast. I mean, 4.38, but he's got the size to him. I think he's a freak athlete. I think he's just a dog, man. I think he's gonna be a top 5, top 8, maybe he might be above top 5. I don't know.
All right. I don't hate it. I think this happens. We see this happen with corners, especially like all the time lately. You know, like this is something you saw with a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, with guys like Sauce Gardner, Quinyon Mitchell. Like these corners
Pat
just come
Surtain.
out. Yeah, Pat Surtain. Like they just come out and they're like, really, like I feel like a corner's prime is when they're really young. Diggs was kind of the same way. Trayvon Diggs, like it didn't take him very long to become an elite corner in the league. It's just like these guys peak so early, so I could definitely see that happening. Most of them.
Yeah, I think Delaney's just a freak athlete. Like I said, he's going to be a top 5, top 10, at least. Maybe not this year. My take is this year, but like he's definitely going to be
Stand on it, Slade. Stand on it.
He'll be a top 5 quarterback this year. I'm just saying he's going to be one. He's going to be one of them dogs. He's going to be one of them dogs moving forward. Like he's going to be a blue chip prospect, great corner just going forward.
All right. I love it. All right. I'll share mine. This is from my wife. I asked her if she had any NFL draft hot takes, and this is what she said, and I quote, "They all suck. They're going to get paid millions of dollars for their team to go 6-9. That is what she said.
Every single one of them is going to make each and every team go 6 for 9.
Yep.
It is going to be a bloodbath
in a 17-game season, which is the incredible part.
Yeah.
They're going to go 6-9 in a 17-game season. So my wife is a real ball knower. And that's her take for the draft. And she very well may be right. This could happen. People are low on the 2026 draft class. I think she was picking up on that. That's what she was implying. So
that's funny. All right, going into my last one. This is going to ruffle a few feathers. I know Jacob, he probably don't agree with me on this, but he's definitely more towards agreeing with me than JJ probably is.
Uh-oh.
Carnell Tate is not a top 3 receiver in this class. I think
top 3.
I think Lemon, Tyson, and Concepcion will outshine him in this rookie season.
You love KC.
You can give me whatever you think. You disagree, agree, whatever.
I like Tyson and Lemon.
I don't love KC.
Concepcion,
Boston would be the guy I'd put up there.
I agree. Like, I think if there was one, I think a lot of it's situationally based too, right? Like if Carnell Tate goes and plays for the Browns, like there may be 14 rookie receivers that have a better season than him. Because it's like that's
the rock. Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. Like if he gets drafted, like I feel like those guys who go later in the draft, like maybe can benefit more sometimes. Like sometimes, like when like I get for monetary purposes they wouldn't, but like actual in-game purposes, like wouldn't you rather get drafted by Kansas City at like whatever they're picking than you would by, let's say the Browns at 6. So like, but also, I'm not like the biggest Tate guy. Like I'm a big Lemon fan. I'm a huge Jordan Tyson fan. I'm a big Boston fan. But I still think that's seething hot. which
Yeah.
I like.
That's a wild take. If you were to say he's not the wide receiver 1, I think there's a lot of people who agree with you. Maybe even not wide receiver 2, but not top 3. Well, that's all we got. NFL draft coming up quick, man. We are so close. I can taste it. I'm so excited to see my Bills draft a horrible cornerback in round 1. It's going to be awesome. It's a yearly tradition at this point. I know that Slade and Jacob are excited to see them draft an offensive lineman named Tyler.
100%.
It's going to be great. So yeah, let us know your thoughts down in the comments on the NBA playoffs, how you think those things are going to turn out. We're going to drop an episode later next week with our NBA predictions for going into round 2, what our finals predictions are and all that jazz. And we'll be posting next week a mock draft, a reaction to how we did on our mock draft, a post NFL draft reaction video. So stay tuned for those. Obviously, let us know what you want to see down in the comments. And yeah, anything else, boys?
Yeah, this is super fun. Like JJ said, just let us know any other ideas y'all have. I'm sure y'all have a lot better ideas than we will. And y'all know what y'all want to watch. But this was really fun. Let us know the hot takes, whether you agree or disagree. And for all the basketball fans out there, you got a good hour's worth of basketball content as well.
We got you.
Yep, sounds good, man. It was a lot of fun. Really excited for the draft. Really excited for the NFL playoffs. It's a good time of the year for sports fans. And baseball might be my main sport, so MLB's in full swing too. I don't know how much MLB content these guys are going to let me get out on here, but
I'm not going to be able to keep up.
I just want to throw it out there. The NHL is in the playoffs as well.
Hey,
yes.
go Sabres.
Look, if you guys really want us to embarrass ourselves, we'll give that a crack.
Yeah, our puck knowledge is not as good as our ball knowledge. Let's just say that.
Well, let's just say the third and wrong will have an emphasis on the wrong.
Yeah. Amen. All right, that's all we got for y'all today. This is the Third and Wrong podcast. Signing off for now. See you guys in the next one.